like to hear. Alright, so since this is going up on YouTube, say hi YouTube. I won a controller giveaway from N3z God. I will have him linked in the description of this video. He is absolutely the best. You should check out his stream and check out his Twitter as well. I'll have both of them in the description of this. He is an awesome person. I've talked with him on Discord. He's a great dude and he knows what he's doing. He is extremely knowledgeable of the GameCube controller. And let's see what he got for me here. Okay, so the first thing I got in here is a t-shirt that I won along with the controller for Nesmus, and it's got Nez's icon from his Twitch, as well as it says, where's it at? Twitch TV/NESModGod, Nesmus 2020. I was incredibly stoked for this, but now for the more important thing, we are gonna look at the controller. And look at that fucking case, man. Look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful. I am insanely stoked that I got this. Noah, if you watch this, you are the fucking man. And this is actually his company, Top Notch Controllers. And here is the controller.
Wank.
Oh, well, here's the controller. It has the purple Wario back, and it is in incredible condition. And then there's the controller. Look at that. Look at that thing. Those buttons are like candy. And he actually called this the candy controller on his stream. And everything feels amazing with this. The sticks feel great. Now, triggers are a personal preference thing for a lot of people. I'm actually probably going to be throwing some trigger plugs into this myself. So I'm going to go grab my donor controller right now. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
I'm back now, and I'm going to go ahead and take the plugs out of my backup tournament controller. I can't remember which Tri Wing it is, so I'm just going to assume it's this one. Oh shit, I guess it helps if I actually grab a Tri Wing. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about controllers, there are 6 Tri-Wing screws, because Nintendo loves their Tri-Wings. There's 4 at the bottom, 2 at the top. You just pop them out, and it's fairly simple. I mean, it just comes right apart. For your first time, it can be intimidating, but you get used to it over time. The only thing I don't like about taking apart GameCube controllers is putting the screws that go in these long parts back in, because it's just annoying. But I always take them like that and leave it face down. That way I don't have to deal with trying to put the motherboard back in later. If I do this now, it all stays in place and I have what I need to get to, which is these right here. And they switch from Tri-Wing to Phillips head, so I'm gonna have to change my screwdriver out. But there's 2 Phillips heads for each trigger on that like black guarding that you have to pop off. And now we just pop these out. And clean your controllers too. I'm gonna make that a thing that I say in every single video because not enough people do it, but clean your controllers too. Like, I clean mine at least once a month. If you don't clean your controller, please clean your controller. You don't have to take it completely apart every time, but at least do that like once every couple months. Because you get this grime that builds up in the crease of the shell, because for some reason Nintendo designed the shell that has a crease in it. You'll get some buildup in there. It's nothing major usually, but if you've never cleaned your controller before, you will probably have a ton of it, and it is super gross. So clean your controller. Alright, and for this part, it's really simple. These can only go in one way, and to get the trigger out, you'll put your thumb on the bottom of the spring and push it up and then come down like that, and there you go. Just don't let go because that is spring loaded and you could see how it would shoot straight off. And this is my trigger plug. This is all it is, and it turns my input from being analog to digital in a sense because it shortens the length of the trigger. So put that back, find where I just dropped that spring. So then you'll just put it back together, These teeth can only go in a certain way. They really did a good job to make this dummy proof. The hardest part about this is if you've actually been like working on the controller itself. I can show you how to deal with that when you're putting it back together. All right, and you'll basically do it the same way you took it out. Run the triggers back through, and then line the two little teeth in the black part up, which is hard to see and show to the camera at the exact same time. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, boom, right back in place like it was. Put your cover back over. There's two teeth that you'll fill, yep, just like that, and throw these two screws back in it. We're just gonna pretend I didn't do that. That's one done. Time to start on the next one. All right, so now I'll do the same thing I did on the other side with this trigger. Easy on the spring so it doesn't shoot off this time. Pop out my trigger plug, and now I can just put it all back together, and this will just be a normal GameCube controller again. Now, I've gotten so used to the trigger plugs that I basically can't play without them, but I wouldn't want to anyways. I highly recommend them. They're only like $5. All right, we're just gonna pretend I didn't do that. And basically, the reason why I do one side at a time instead of doing them both at the same time is because I just don't even want to risk mixing the pieces up. And now the tricky part I was saying when you go to put it back together is you want to make sure that the little sliders for the triggers on the motherboard actually line up with the holes of your trigger, and I'll show you what I'm talking about as I do it. But I've accidentally done this before where I put the slider on top of the knob, and it can mess some stuff up. So I'll stand up for this. If you see on the motherboard, this little slider right here, that is actually your trigger. And I've messed up and had it like that before, so that when I put the triggers back in, they're above it, and it goes down too fast, and it's a mess. Be sure you don't do that. I'm not gonna do a full controller breakdown right now. Just if you ever take your controller apart, make sure these are slid all the way up on both sides when you go to put the front plate back on, or back plate. And now all I do is I make sure my cable is still around that, and I make sure it's ran through right there. Line it up as best I can by eyeballing it, and then try to, yep, there it is. You can feel it when it does it, and everything just clips right back in place, and there we go. That's done. So I'm gonna put the screws in this one and repeat the same process with the one I just got from NES. I'm not sure why Nintendo has an obsession with tri-wings, but they definitely do. So if you ever have the opportunity to pick one up, the iFixit, I can't remember how many pieces this kit is, but I'll show you the one I have. It's an awesome screwdriver set, especially if you work on electronics a lot like I do. This is my screwdriver set. I'm not sure how many pieces it is. It's nice. It is nice. It's on ifixit.com. It was only like, I want to say $18 when I got it. Definitely recommend, especially if you work on electronics or thinking about working on electronics, because there's nothing worse than when you have everything that you need but one thing. And that's what was happening to me a majority of the time. When I would go to do stuff, I would be missing one type of screwdriver that I didn't know I needed. Ever since I've got this kit, I have yet to run into that problem. I've never been missing something that I need and not have it. It's always in there. Okay, now this controller is back to being just a normal GameCube controller, and I can move on to the NES controller. All right, and now time to put the trigger plugs into this one. I cannot get over how good this thing looks. And it's so crazy because like I've gotten second or third place so many times in so many of his giveaways, and it's always just been a thing. Like I'll be watching a stream and he'll do a giveaway, or I'll just be chilling and I'll get a stream alert in his Discord that he's doing a giveaway. But this time I actually was watching the stream from the beginning, and
slowing down. Whoa, what? Wait, what was that? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what the, what? What was was that? What? That is so rigged! Oh my god, I can't believe that. That is probably the most insane thing I've ever... Dude, what?
It was a wild thing, man. It's awesome. Oh, that thing is gorgeous. Set that up there. Pop that trigger out. You take the trigger plug. You can see there's like a thick side at the bottom of that. You'll stick the skinny side into it. Make sure it's all the way snug. Put it back exactly how you pulled it out. And just slide it back in place and you're done. Super easy to do. Just be careful not to push too hard, because with that trigger plug, it'll actually push the rubber pad, the contact pad in the bottom of it out. And you obviously don't want that. So just be careful with that. It's always the most annoying part, because that trigger plug just barely pushes on them pads. Yep, I think I did pop the pad out. I did. Shit. Yeah, I took my screwdriver and I just pushed that rubber pad back up where it was. Now this side is done. I can knock out the other side, and this will be my main controller now. I was gonna save it and like use it as like a tournament only type of controller or something like that, but I don't know. Honestly, I feel like that's disrespectful to not use the controller that the best controller modder in the world made. No way, no way. I'm using this motherfucker. And if y'all can't tell by how I talk about controllers, I really like controllers and I really hate when people spike their controllers. So do not do that. If you get tilted at a tourney, bro, chunk something else. Don't be chunking your controller. Alright, slide this one in. Didn't knock the rubber pad off or shoot the spring out that time. Oh no, we're just gonna, nope, I didn't do that. You don't have to go in a particular order with these. I just always stagger them as I go. I don't know why I do that, I just always have. But it doesn't really make a difference, just whatever you find easier for yourself. Last two screws, then it will be ready to be played with, and I am super excited. It still doesn't feel real, even though I know it is. That was the unboxing and installing trigger plugs in my new controller. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy it, hit dislike. And if you want to see more controller and console mods, as well as sick link plays and Smash content in general, hit subscribe maybe. Thanks. See ya.